All right. Hey guys, I hope everyone's doing well. This is Rudy. Hey, I've called Ron Paul's office many times. I've also faxed him. I've also emailed him. I've sent him contact messages through his website. And, what's they say? Persistence is one of the keys to success or something like that. But let's call him again.
Good afternoon, Congressman Paul's office. This is Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. My name is Rudy. I live in Texas, and I was hoping I could give you a message to somehow be delivered to Ron Paul if possible.
Okay. Is it dealing with campaign or dealing with legislation or?
Well, it's dealing with the campaign, and I have a very strong belief in how he can win, and it deals with, you've probably heard of the Obama birth certificate issue.
Okay. Well, we can't talk about anything dealing with campaign in this office. We handle casework for Congressman Paul in the district.
Oh, okay.
I can give you a different number though where you can call and talk all you want with them and they can talk right back.
Okay.
It's 1-855.
1-855.
886.
886.
9779.
9779. Okay.
Correct.
All right. Well, I'll call that number. I sure do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, guys. I've got a new number for Ron Paul's campaign, and let me try that and share my opinion about what Ron Paul should do to be president of the United States. All I can do is try, right? They say persistence is one of the ways to be successful, so we'll keep trying to be persistent.
Thank you for calling Ron Paul's 2012 presidential campaign. If you know your party's extension, please dial it now. If you would like to make a contribution, please press 1. If you would like to volunteer with the campaign, please press 2. If you are a member of the press seeking comment or an interview with Dr. Paul, please press 3. If you would like to purchase something from the Ron Paul campaign store, please press 4. Please note that due to high volume of calls, campaign staff members will be unable to answer the phone. For comments and questions, please consider emailing or writing the campaign. For all other questions, please press 5. Ron Paul 2012, how may I help you?
Hi, do you work for Ron Paul's presidential election campaign?
Yes, sir.
Can I just share an idea with you, and how truth is like a fire and it can catch on, and I can just share with you my opinion and you can decide.
Yeah,
Great.
no problem.
Okay, so I'm very familiar with all of Ron Paul's positions. I've followed him for several years. I understand his foreign policy of freedom, his position on the Federal Reserve, libertarian views on drugs, and are you familiar with the birth certificate issue?
Somewhat, but
Okay.
share with me all of your ideas anyways.
All right. Well, I've also attended the trial of the court-martial of Lieutenant Colonel Terry Lakin. Are you familiar with Terry Lakin? Does that ring a bell?
I am not.
Okay. He was he was in the Army, a lieutenant colonel, and they court-martialed him because he said that he didn't think that Obama's birth certificate issue was legitimate. And rather than try to convince you on the phone, most of the time when I bring up this issue, that people that haven't investigated it, they don't fully understand it. But because you have to look into it. There's a book by the name of "Where Is the Birth Certificate" by Harvard Jerome Corsi. He's released a book. It's called "Where Is the Birth Certificate," and he's a Harvard. But having said that, I am convinced to the point of my life that the birth certificate Barack Obama released the long form is a forgery. There's even a little smiley face in it, and there's also kerning, and I could go into a lot more details, but you have to look at the evidence for yourself to make that your own decision. I can't I wouldn't be able to convince you in this conversation, and I understand that. But the point I'm trying to make is, I followed Ron Paul since 2008. I understand what he's all about. I fully support him. But America doesn't have the moral foundation to receive his message. And I believe that he doesn't have a chance. It's like, when I'm a Christian man, right? So when Jesus Christ spoke to the Pharisees, he spoke in using scripture. But when he spoke to an audience of the masses, he spoke in parables. Ron Paul is delivering a message of freedom, but America doesn't have the moral foundation to receive it. I'm just saying that we've fallen so far into a moral decline that he will not win simply preaching his message of liberty. And that I'm saying, and you can receive this for what it's worth, but I would bet my life on it, that if Ron Paul comes out and at least investigate the birth certificate issue and says that the people who are called birthers, who understand that birth certificate is a forgery, if he makes a statement that they have valid questions and that someone should go, an independent third-party organization should go look at the birth certificate that supposedly exists in Hawaii, I think that Ron Paul would win this election because he would bring down Obama's house of cards. There's various names that I could give you for references, but I strongly believe that in the core of my heart. And he can continue to preach his message of liberty, and he can do it. And I'm not saying it's not a good message. It's a good, true message. But America's not ready to receive it. They don't have the moral foundation. But if he approaches this election from the perspective of Obama doesn't have a valid birth certificate and he wants somebody to go examine it, because I know that it's a forgery. Jerome Corsi knows it's a forgery. Orly Tates knows it's a forgery. Lieutenant Colonel Terry Lakin. Did you know that there was a staff sergeant, an Air Force staff sergeant in Germany just recently that said that he did not want to serve in the military anymore until Obama proves that document is a legitimate document?
I actually did not hear that.
Yeah, his name is Darren J. Moran. You can Google it or YouTube it, but his name is Air Force Staff Sergeant Darren J. Moran. You can also Google Pastor James David Manning, who's a black preacher in Harlem that's been preaching on this particular issue for over 4 years.
Okay.
So, I feel like I've, relayed what I think, and I think if he was to look into this issue, you don't know Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Arizona, right?
I do not.
Oh, wow, okay. You never heard of Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Arizona? He's like a very famous sheriff. He's very outspoken on immigration.
I have not.
Okay. Well, he's coming out on the birth certificate issue. There's various people that are coming out on it, and if Ron Paul... I'm saying if he doesn't address this issue, this is Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution, there's going to be a lot of people that looks at him and says he's all talk, he's all lip service, but he's not taking any action. And I'm trying to do this in the most respectful way I can, and I really want Ron Paul to win. But if he doesn't address the birth certificate issue, I truly believe that he won't have a chance at winning the election, and I want to see him win. So.
Okay, well I will be sure to pass it on.
Okay, you mind if I get your name?
Yes, Spencer.
Spencer. Okay, thank you very much, Spencer.
No problem. Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye. Well, I don't know if she heard what I had to say or not. I tried my best. I'm not the most eloquent speaker. I try to convey facts. I try to tell people what I think. But sometimes I don't think they got ears to hear what I'm saying. But I tried, when we all get to the next level and we stand before our Creator, I can say I tried. God bless every one of you.